All right, guys, welcome back to the Independent Investor Channel. Really appreciate your time with me. I have a feeling within the last couple months or so that this topic has kind of fallen through the cracks a little bit. Thought I'd put out a video on Robinhood, compare it a little bit, really give you my perspective and insight on the landscape. I wish I could just leave the decisions up to folks. But here's what's going on. A lot of people are getting excited about investing. They're looking at where to put their money, what broker to use. It can be super confusing. I think a lot of people absolutely overblow the importance of the conduit that they use to direct connect themselves to the stock market. Okay. The flip side of that, unfortunately, I think a lot of people undershoot the importance of the broker that they choose and the services that are provided therein. I put brokers into two different categories. The first being the major broker, that of which I have the bulk of my money with. I'm with Bank of America Merrill. They are a top tier broker. They're in the top 5 as far as I'm concerned. Outside of that, I have the luxury of pulsing in with a fantastic YouTube community, and they give me insights or tutorials on how satisfied they are with certain other top tier brokers out there. Fidelity would be number 1. Number 2 would be TD Ameritrade. Number 3 would be mine, which is Merrill. Number 4 would be a Charles Schwab. And then the 5th position really kind of rotates. There's a lot of different offers out there. For example, if you banked with Ally, I know there's been a lot of people that have reported very, very good experiences with Ally. JP Morgan Chase, with their particular program. I know there's a lot of investors out there that do their primary banking with JP. That's great too. But I, for the life of me, can't understand why the Robinhood numbers are going up the way that they are. Last I checked, we're looking at about 16 million people that are signing up for this service. And I cannot for the life of me understand why. I can't. And please understand, the premise behind this video is not to piss people off. I know there's people out there that use Robinhood as a service. And, for the most part, I think there's a lot of loyalty behind the platform. I remember when Robinhood came out, and they were one of the companies that were listed on the disruptor list, and rightfully so. At the time, free trades was not a thing. Free trades for even us major brokerage holders had to be at certain thresholds, incentive thresholds, to even have X number of free trades per month. For example, I had 30, and then I would reach the next incentive threshold, and that number went up to 100 free trades. So when Robinhood came along, it was a big freaking deal. It was big. And I do credit Robinhood with really changing the discussion and changing the landscape. And quite frankly, I think a lot of major brokers out there looked at what Robinhood was doing and saying, man alive, we cannot continue to charge for entry and exit fee on stock anymore. And that's exactly what happens. Once the cards fell and once the dominoes started to fall, all the major brokers started to really fall in line with what they were doing and what they were offering in way of service. So what was kind of an elite benefit to me as a major brokerage holder with Merrill actually went to the wayside, and they went to free trading anyway. Every trade that you do on mine or any other free broker out there is going to be free of charge now. So I want everybody to really understand that the exclusivity that once was from Robinhood no longer exists. Okay. So your rationale to opt into what I consider to still be a discount broker, which it is not a major broker. I'm sorry, it's not. Okay. There's a few others that I would put into this category. One I particularly do business with, which is M1 Finance. And I think a great head-to-head comparison would be to throw Webull and M1 Finance and Robinhood in the mix here. But I think, unfortunately, I think loyalty to an application only goes so far with me. Okay. And if you've been with Robinhood from the inception, I want to leave you with a few things that I really feel like they're worth looking at. because the investing landscape changes, and it changes so fast. I'm not asking you to drop your broker. What I am asking you to do is take an objective look as to whether or not your full suite of needs are met by choosing your conduit to the market, whether it be Robinhood in its totality. In other words, do you have the bulk of your wealth in Robinhood attached to the stock market, or are you using it as a hybrid portfolio? Perhaps maybe you're using it as a side broker for ease and convenience of use, because I've heard a lot of people who have come back to me and said, it's very, very easy to use. I really like it. I use it as a side broker. It's not my primary broker, but I do use it because it's very easy to use, and it's a very, very simple and streamlined platform, that of which I give them full credit for. All right. On the Independent Investor channel, I've had the opportunity to sit on the round table actually with Robinhood. But I will premise this video and say this: I am not an advocate of Robinhood, nor am I a customer of Robinhood. For the reasons disclosed in the first couple minutes of this video, I can't for the life of me understand why people opt for what I consider to be an inferior product. Okay, what I mean by that is they just had a lawsuit of $65 million, and it was absolutely specifically aimed at their trading practices behind the scenes. Okay. I will attach an article to this in the description below, which outlines in item 4 what exactly the cost of trade behind the scene in their batch orders means for you, which is very, very little. Okay. Other than the fact that they can sell you on free trades, but the cost of that equity is actually more to you behind the scenes. Robinhood takes that profit. Okay. So even though they can come across and they can really try to sell you on what I feel is their primary bread and butter, and that is free trades, it really loses its luster when you start to look behind the scenes and start to ask yourself, is this a business that I really want to be affiliated with? In other words, do I honestly feel comfortable having the bulk of my wealth with this company? Okay. The answer could be yes. The answer could be no. But I also want you to think about some of the data breaches that have been taking place with Robinhood. They say that they are making huge investments into the security of their platform and surrounding their platforms. I, for one, will not play ball. Okay. I don't know what it takes for people. Do they need to lose their entire account specifically? Um, Way too many accounts of articles that I've read about kids really that have no business getting a hold of the amount of margin that they uh, seemingly got a hold of for whatever reason, whether or not they lied to, or the checks and balances that existed on the platform to obtain that level of margin. Unfortunately, very an unfortunate situation. Um, where the individual got into big trouble trading on margin. And that just brings me to the lack of education on Robinhood. When I call it a minor broker or a discount broker, I mean that. Your primary broker, when I said at the top of this video, should be a place where information is sought. It cannot be that you sign up for a broker, and because of its ease of use, that is the end all be all of your decision making. Now, I will say this: brokerages across the board aesthetically are different, but they are all going to provide you access to the market, just like Robinhood, just like M1 Finance, just like Webull, just like Fidelity. Okay. They're all going to provide you that access to the market. Okay. What you need to be very, very critical of and understanding of is what other functions and features do you have with your major brokers that provide you the information, data, analytics, portfolio tracking that exist within your account that are available to you free of charge. Okay. This is sometimes overlooked all the time. And this is where the YouTube community can really help provide you the testimonials of folks like me who actually use Merrill and can tell you that their data, their portfolio tracking, their budgeting tools, their education, their self-help tutorials are top notch. Okay, they're top notch. The aim of their business with regard to their broker services is aimed at providing a phenomenal customer experience. Okay. Now, I will say that Robinhood has taken steps in the right direction on this front by initiating the desktop application platform. I think it sucks. I think it's way, way too simple. And ease of use is really not a criteria that I would look at and say, I'm going to opt for a discount broker over a major broker, with that being the gleaming criteria that I'm looking for. Forget it. That's insane. But when I look to evaluate Robinhood and really start to answer some questions, and when you guys get into that article, you're going to really find that what goes on behind the scenes. I really think Robinhood probably should have focused a little bit more on what the SEC required of them, with regard to their trading practices behind the scenes with their batch orders. But they failed to do that, and they incurred a $65 million broker. Listen, if you are one of the 16 million people that are attached to Robinhood, great. If you've got a loyalty, that of which I can't explain, no problem. Again, the point of this video is for education, but I'm here to tell you that the number one reason why people sign up for Robinhood in the first place is because of the free trading. And that has dissolved away. That is no longer a reason to opt into a service like Robinhood because it is not exclusive. It is commonplace. It does not exist anymore. All right. The next reason I will mention for the good of the community, again, I felt like this was a topic that was slipping through the cracks. There's way, way too many options out there for a platform like Robinhood to continually get the nod, and I don't understand why. I'm obviously not a fan of the platform, and here's why. I think the very community that Robinhood caters to are the younger investors, and they're using the ploy of, look, you can download the app and be investing in 5 minutes free of charge. Okay, all great and plenty, right? If younger investors knew exactly the right order of operations to enter into the stock market, they would be opting for a retirement account first, not second, not third, not in lieu of a brokerage account. No freaking way. No freaking way. It's like putting the horse before the carriage here, guys. It's like investing in the wrong order. All right. Now, can Robinhood solve that? This was a question that I posed to the roundtable, which went right to one of the directors of operations. The director of operations responded to my question and said, we get this question all the time, but unfortunately at this time we cannot answer this question. And the question was, why now and why at the onset did Robinhood not offer retirement accounts on their platform? And they could not answer that question. That right there, in and of itself, is a good enough reason for all 16 million people that are trading on Robinhood to leave the platform. It is not at all one of those things that you can just overlook. It is not one of those things that you can just continue to invest in lieu of a retirement account. And here's why. Remember how I talked about the very allure of Robinhood, getting people in to enjoy free trading? Okay. You want to know the major difference between Robinhood and M1 Finance? Here it is. Robinhood bakes in no discipline to their platform. None. Zero. They appeal to those investors that feel like they can get in and beat the stock market by trading in and out of stock. Robinhood would disagree and say that all their investors are passive. That's a bunch of bullshit. Okay. That is not the truth. People are being sold on the idea that they can get into the platform and they can trade. Why? Because they're free. It's free. Okay. That's why people are signing up for Robinhood. Why else would they be doing it? Okay. It's so they can engage in trading activity. Sit back for a second and think about it. You honestly think that people are starting a discount broker to invest passively in the S&P 500? Come on, guys. Come on. I wish this topic could just be left to the educated decision of the masses. But unfortunately, when the decision is left to the masses, we get 16 million sheep following the same platform that prides themselves, according to me, on robbing from the poor for the benefit of the rich. That's just my opinion. All right. But it's well founded. How is it that you can offer investing services and not provide the services of a Roth IRA? How can you not offer the services of a traditional Roth IRA? It's unacceptable. And I just so happen to be the voice of reason on YouTube to really establish that difference between the two, comparatively speaking, between Robinhood and Webull, which does offer retirement accounts, um, and Robinhood, which does not at this time. The real problem with the discipline that I talked about that is lacking on Robinhood is that if all these people are on there trading in and out of stock, because you can trade at any time. M1 Finance only allows one trading window on their basic platform. So it really helps promote what people need tutelage in, and that is passive investing. New investors do not need to be trading in and out of stock. They need to be investing in good, diversified assets and holding them for the long term. They don't need to be trading in and out of them. They need to be dollar cost averaging them and investing in them. All right. They're not doing that on Robinhood, okay? Because the discipline is not there. You see that you're up $22 in the S&P 500 that you've bought. 3 days later, you want to sell that. And what's happening is I've had people come through the channel and they're like, Ryan, I'm in real trouble here. I've racked up 4 or 5, 600 trades, sometimes even in excess of that. And now all of those get reported to the IRS. And if you don't go in there and close the loop on each and every one of those 4, 5, 600 trades, then the IRS is going to establish a floor for you at zero. And they are going to consider all of that from zero to your sell price as capital gains. All right. So not only are the 16 million people naive to the fact of the tax implication by lack of offering customers retirement accounts, but they are ill advised as to the tax implication the very second they hit buy, and especially when they hit sell on that particular stock offering. Guys, appreciate you joining in with the message. I want to make sure I'm subscribed to the channel. Leave your comments. I certainly didn't mean to piss anybody off. I'm sure that this will, because it's a contentious issue. Nobody wants to be told that their broker sucks. But I'm here to tell you, for very, very specific reasons, the very nature and uniqueness of this platform is gone. It is absolutely gone. Second check never hurts, man. Never hurts you to second guess your program and really looking to always elevate your game. Get yourself involved in a major broker. You'll be glad that you did. Guys, you want to share the message with anybody out there. If you know people that are involved in Robinhood, you want them to come on and argue with me and tell me I'm wrong, tell me I'm an asshole, that's fantastic. Bring them on. Unfortunately for them and you, if you are still attached to Robinhood, I just so happen to be right. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into the message, and good luck in your investment future.